Poetik Flakko and Oshay Duke Jackson got into a back and forth over black boycotts.
I'll watch a video where this person is essentially like going along with all the harmful rhetoric that this other guy has about people who's from where I'm from.
Okay, now I know who he's talking about. And he's definitely talking about me.
Where Poetik Flakko viewed black Americans boycotting immigrant businesses as bigotry.
Now, real bigotry is an African braiding shop doing something that, that was wrong and appalling. Boycott all African businesses. The white men do something we ain't never seen. Boycott all white businesses, but boycott all African businesses because one African business did something.
And took shots at Oshay because of it.
You're supporting this dude who's saying that those people don't have a right to have a business, to operate their business, and they need to be boycotted and shut down because somebody from the same country as them did something wrong is bad and is foul and is not cool.
With Oshay responding about his own receipts about the situation and his relationship with Flakko.
This whole idea of that Oshay doesn't work with you if he knows that you're African, it's asinine. I've done a lot to help the Pan-African space or help Africans in general, including him.
But I'm June, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
I get a message from one of my YouTube partners, and it says, I think Flakko alluded to you around the midpoint of this video. I mean, I don't have no problem with him or anything like that. He's a nice guy. I think he's an elite commentator in what he's doing. So we would not really have any problems. And to be honest, this video that he did was actually very, very good. It was.
Well, the amount of content that both of these dudes be putting out is insanity. They put out like 4 to 5 videos a day.
It's called Godfrey Loses All of His Fans After Betraying Black Americans in New Pot. I thought it was a fair video.
A real bigotry is saying that an entire group of people shouldn't be able to make a living and feed their families and start a business, and they want those businesses shut down because they belong to an immigrant group. That's real bigotry. It's creating a racial slur for an entire group of people and then spamming that racial slur.
The point that he's trying to make here is that there is a difference between criticism and bigotry. And people who are using the term like tether, some of the people in the hashtag FBA community on X use that term, but he accuses somebody of just wanting businesses shut down simply because they belong to an immigrant group. So I was like, that can't be me, right?
He's talking about black people boycotting African businesses. Maybe this was back when the braiding thing was going on. A black American female was locked inside of an African hair braiding shop after they raised the price limit, so the black American wanted to avoid African shops. So it started from there. Black women felt disrespected at the black braiding salons, like the warehouses they have. There's one in Bowie, the big braiding warehouse.
I'm here at the viral 24-hour braiding shop in Bowie, Maryland. This is one of the fastest growing salons, not just in the city, not just in the state, but pretty much in the country.
Where they were talking about boycotting those businesses because of the disrespect or the lack of appreciation for black people in those businesses. It came back up when he was talking about this David Yellowwood clip where he was kind of shitting on black people, black Americans.
My answer to that,
to the Drewski
thing, is to start a streaming platform with an African American.
I guess this really hit them hard, just like the Christian skit or the mega church skit hit the black church community and the mega church community. The redneck skit at the NASCAR joint made the white folks mad.
They looking too deep into it. The Drewski thing was jokes. It was a skit about how British actors on camera, they would act like the biggest LA gang member, then off camera, they like straight, pip pip cheerio, and feel me, like it's hilarious, yo. Here's the thing, bro. We gotta find a way as immigrants to distinguish between jokes and bigotry. Straight up, bro. The Drewski thing is a joke. It was a skit. You gotta distinguish between the jokes and the bigotry. Now, real bigotry is an African braiding shop doing something that, that was wrong and appalling. And then Tariq Nasheed and other content creators start this whole boycott all African businesses. The white men do something we ain't never seen. Boycott all white businesses, but boycott all African businesses because one African business did something.
I don't think that's bigotry for a people to boycott somewhere that they feel disrespected. Would anybody be wrong for boycotting anywhere that they feel like they're not valued, not respected, or worse, just straight up disrespected? disrespected by the people that they're giving money to, especially when you talk about the black dollar leaving the black community and not recycling through where every other community, their dollars stay in their community and circulate. How can the black dollar circulate in a community that doesn't own most of the businesses in it?
3% of businesses in black communities are black owned. And the reason why we have $2 trillion of spending power, but only 2% is spent in our community is because we have nowhere to spend it.
Black people are the only people that basically give away our money to people that don't spend money with us. So I don't think it's bigotry for black people or anybody for that matter, any group of people to boycott or stop spending money somewhere where they feel like it's not appreciated or the love that they give is not reciprocated by that person or company investing back in the community. I just don't think that's bigotry at all. If anything, I think that's protecting yourself, protecting your community, and trying to invest back where the money belongs. I don't think that's bigotry. Going back to the 50s and 60s, black people were not given loans and not given funding to start businesses in our own communities, but they would loan immigrants money, specifically, at least back then, it was the Asian community to start businesses in black communities, but they also wouldn't give them funding to start businesses in white communities. White people said, you can't have businesses here. You can have businesses in black communities.
Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in black communities, even though black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities.
But we would not have that funding. I just don't think it's bigotry if a community feels disrespected, not appreciated, investment isn't coming back in their community to boycott or to spend money within their own community where they feel valued. This isn't even hate on Flakko. He's talking from his own experience. He's an immigrant. Maybe he has just a different take on it because of his upbringing, his environment, where he's from, where he's really sensitive about this subject and he sees it as bigotry.
But real bigotry is saying that an entire group of people shouldn't be able to make a living and feed their families and start a business, and they want those businesses shut down.
And then,
there was somebody, and this is like an OG on YouTube, bruh. Now, again, I'll never diss this person. I'll never disrespect this person. Like, I'll never say nothing bad about this person because, this person really helped me out. They hopped on the phone with me, gave me a free consultation, walked me through how to build my channel, gave me like the systems, and I applied that to grow. So I would never, ever, ever say nothing bad about this person. I was just heartbroken and really, really, really hurt, bro. Because again, like I don't know if this person helped me out before he found out I was African.
okay, now I know who he's talking about. And he's definitely talking about me. Let me just say this. I don't like to really toot my horn because I've helped a lot of content creators. Many you know, a lot of folks you don't know about. But Poetik Flakko was probably the latest one, that I kind of gave a strategy to, which is what he used to kind of blow up. I never asked anything from him. I never want to even really mention this or anything like that. But I want to prove to you that he is talking about me. And here's our Instagram DMs. Now I'm not going to go into all of it. So just that you know that this is about me, okay? He says on May 20th, Big Dog Oshay, thanks for the advice a year ago, bro. I'm for sure gearing up to move to Liberia and just do YouTube from there and stack up. So let's kind of get into this idea of that I didn't know he was African. So if you see here, he's talking about moving to Liberia, which means that I already knew that he was Liberian. And maybe he forgot that we talked about this on the phone, but I have interviewed many people from Liberia. Let's talk about Royda Ure, okay? I've talked to her before. On my Kinganda channel, I've interviewed Zawadi M, okay, from Liberia. This whole idea of that Oshay doesn't work with you if he knows that you're African, it's asinine, right? And I'm not trying to say that he's lying about this because Poetik Flakko is putting out so much content so fast and it's kind of unscripted. Maybe he forgets. And again, it's been a long time ago, but this is simply not true.
I want to give you a job, be the host of the Pan-African Dating Show. And I'm like, what? I think most of you know the Pan-African Dating Show. I start hosting the Pan-African Dating Show. This person says, I want you to leave your place where you are living, so you come to an apartment. This person pays for my transport, pays for my food, he pays for my accommodation, and he still pays my salary. And this person wants nothing from me. He's literally just like a father figure.
So if you guys know about my other channel called the Pan-African Dating Show, here's a young lady by the name of Esther Natakunda. This was January 1st, 2026. She made this video about your boy. And she was basically saying I was a father figure to her. Now, the reason why I'm coming with this many receipts to kind of prove myself is because Poetik Flakko is acting like I wouldn't help him if he was African. When we talked about this on the phone, that he was trying to get to Liberia, I wanted him to help get back to Liberia. We talked about the Ure family, who was prominent in Liberia, who are Americo-Liberian. And then also, you know what the biggest issue is with his statement? I live in Uganda. I've brought so many people to Uganda. So many people that I work with are African. I work in the Pan-African space. I have the largest repat podcast on the planet. So I don't know who he's talking about. And like I said, I largely think that he just probably forgot about this, or he was just really biased himself. But then again, he would continue.
Because it can like I don't know if this person helped me out before he found out I was African, or I don't know if he would help me if he knew I was African, but I watched a video where this person is essentially like going along with all the harmful rhetoric that this other guy has about people who's from where I'm from. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, they can't help that they were born here. They don't, like they don't choose who their parents are. They were born here and they're trying to make a better life for themselves. And the fact that you're supporting this dude who's saying that those people don't have a right to have a business, to operate their business.
Let's just say black people boycott a business that we feel like is being disrespectful or not appreciating the black dollar. At no point are black people saying that they shouldn't be able to make a living, that they can't make a living. It's just we're not giving our money to a place that we feel disrespected. And again, I guess he's talking specifically about the whole black braiding shop incident.
To be boycotted and shut down because somebody from the same country as them did something wrong is bad and is foul and is not cool.
He could have said foul and wrong and not cool without calling it bigotry, because it's not bigotry.
And then, and the person that I have respect for said that person is above critique. And I'm like, damn, right is right and wrong is wrong, right? Like, if that person did something wrong, say what they did is wrong.
He's speaking very vague, but he initially said Tariq Nasheed said something about boycotting, and he's basically saying Oshay Duke Jackson was agreeing with black people boycotting the African braid shop business.
So basically, he's saying, I just want somebody to be boycotted and don't have a right to have a business or operate their business, and they need to be boycotted because they did something wrong. Now, I mean, I don't know. He probably mad at me right now. I did make some videos about the African boycotts, and it was black women complaining about stuff like this.
I ain't got time to be driving 5 hours to go to the city I was born in to get my hair done. I don't think nobody up here gonna do it. And the Africans, they not pulling my hair out.
All right, let me start out by saying if the background looks familiar, then please do not tag or mention them because I'm not trying to bash nobody's business. But I had a terrible experience there. And when I say I got my ass up and I went over to Cunty Hair Braiding on Instagram, baby.
And to even make things worse, here's an African lady complaining about African braid shops.
It's been almost a week, so I'm finally ready to tell you guys about the worst braiding experience I've ever had in LA by an African braider. And the fact that she's African is very important because so am I. So let me get into that. So this is
such a weird beef. I don't know how Flakko pulled in something that happened a year or 2 years ago to what was going on with David Oyelowo shitting on the black community. I don't know how these things tie in. It seems like he had an axe to grind with Oshay because he felt the way about him supporting Tariq Nasheed or black Americans in general in this situation.
Isata hair salon braiding, whatever. And honestly, I should have known better from those 2.1 stars.
Now, the reason why I showed those in succession is because this was the reason for why a lot of black Americans were talking about boycotting Africans, because of the lack of service and the entitlement of behavior. Now, what Poetik Flakko is addressing is they have the right to be a business. You're just trying to paint them with a broad brush because they're African, instead of addressing the argument. And the argument is that a lot of African businesses, whether they're in Africa or in America, have a problem with customer service, not even with just blacks, but with their own group. So the whole idea is that if you're not gonna provide quality service, you don't need to be in business. And see, for people that are like Poetik Flakko, they're Liberian or they're from another place, and they come into American, while you're an American citizen, you gotta remember, you are still a minority amongst the blacks. So now when people deal with you, you gotta have some level of value. And that's what I'm talking about, because when I live in Uganda or when I go across Kenya or wherever it is in the community that I be across, I gotta give value to people. I gotta operate in the right way. I gotta pay my way. I gotta respect people. Otherwise, I'm in a lot of trouble. And when I talk about the fact that when Black Americans deal with Africans, it's more one-sided than anything. And again, he already admitted that I helped him, didn't ask for anything. But if we really want to talk about it, if you want to ask Poetik Flakko for some help right now, he gonna charge you. It ain't like he doing it for free or anything. The real problem is he took a bigoted perspective because he is African and because he doesn't like some of the things that I'm saying. So what he actually did was paint me with a broad brush instead of listening to what I was saying. I never said that Africans should be boycotted, and I never said that because somebody's African, they need to be canceled. I just showed plenty of evidence that I've done a lot to help the Pan-African space or help Africans in general, including him. And he told me he was from Liberia. I knew he was from Liberia before we ever got on the call because I used to watch No Jumper, and it was clear that Poetik Flakko was not a Black American, and I knew that because you lived in North Dakota. But
I knew that because you live in North Dakota. Are there Black people in North Dakota?
The one problem about a person like Poetik Flakko is that you fail to see things largely from somebody else's perspective. And that's what a bigot does. A bigot believes what they believe, and then what they do is deny somebody else's experience. So you never asked, why do those Black Americans want business to be boycotted? Your response was, well, see, it's not fair that a couple businesses made mistakes, then it affects the larger group. Let me tell you something here in Uganda. If I make a mistake as a Black American, the larger group pays the penalty. And instead of focusing on the few and why are you not giving good services in your business, it seems like what he wants to be able to do is, hey, y'all can do whatever y'all want in business, and then you should accept it because we all Black and we got all the same oppressor. And now when people want to start delineating like Black Americans are South Africans, now all of a sudden you're a bigot, or, you know, you're using racist terms, or let's just throw everybody in the same bucket. And I don't think that Poetik Flakko is a bad person. I think he's a great guy. I mean, I think he's trying to be fair in his commentary in certain things, but he is African, he is Liberian.
But he is African.
And he's gonna take offense to certain things that I say. And some of those things he may paint it with a broad brush without the evidence. Maybe he thought I said it, maybe he didn't. What he's accusing me of, I never directly said. All I ask for is parity. Black Americans and Africans will not deal with each other when it's one-sided. Again, he could come to me as a Black American and I could give him the stuff for the free. You wanna know how many Africans do that for me? None. What Africans step in and just really, for the most part, help me in this space or help me in general in Uganda or anywhere? Zero.
I think most people don't help other people naturally. If you're in a position where you can help other people and you do, that's good for you. You're a good person for doing that. But most people are going to be looking for money for doing something, or they want something back for it, or they're not going to help you at all because they don't want you to get ahead of them. A lot of people have experienced that, where you think somebody's cool, you think you can benefit from somebody, learn from them, and then they shut that shit all the way down because they may feel threatened by you and don't want you to get ahead. Flakko calling him out was just kind of out of pocket. He didn't need to do that. Or then fake that Oshay is a bigot. Not saying you can't be a bigot living somewhere, but this man is living in Uganda, doing Uganda business, putting a bunch of people on. This is a pointless ass beef. Poetik Flakko was talking about something completely different, called out Oshay because he felt a way about something he said a while ago, tried to talk that into the Black American versus African thing that was going on with David the Yellow Wolf. It just seems like two different people with two different sets of belief, experiences, and perspectives disagreeing on something. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting, and thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.